Hey, what's going on there, guys? Welcome to this very special edition of the Main Event Talk. Believe it or not, this is part two of the Main Event Talk Raw 7, 8, 13, I believe that's what it is. As you heard from my last Main Event Talk, and I'm sure you're all wondering, how come I don't see Furman in the shed or something like that? Well, I had a little problem. I was trying to finish up the entire episode of the Main Event Talk talking about what happened on Raw this past Monday night, which was just last night, as a matter of fact, giving my opinions on the whole thing with the Wyatt family and the whole thing with Money in the Bank and so forth. Now, there's one thing I need to bring up before I go ahead and get into my next part, and it's about the Wyatt family once again. Like I said before on the last part, I was saying that the Wyatt family did a very good job, got a lot of good reviews, a lot of tweets, saying that the Wyatt family did pretty well. But there's one part that kind of got me confused and a little upset. And it's about the fact that, about the fans chanting Husky Harris. And I was reading through some reviews. And, okay, and I'm going to say this because I can and I need to, because if I don't, then there's no point in it. I was reading through the part where the fans were chanting Husky Harris's name, and some of the fans were saying, "Are these fans idiots? That's not Husky Harris. That's Bray Wyatt." Okay. First of all, the fans that were chanting Husky Harris are the most smartest people I've ever heard. You know why? Let me tell you why. To all of you common sports entertainment morons out there that have no idea the concept of what I'm about to tell you, let me bring this part up. And it goes like this. Husky Harris was a part of NXT in 2011. Or I think it was 2010, I could be wrong. Then Husky Harris became a member with Michael McGillicuddy, as you all know is Curtis Axel, of a group known as the Nexus. Okay, so that kind of clears everything up. And then he was a part of the Nexus again with CM Punk. And then after that, we hadn't heard much of Husky Harris since then. And then the whole thing with the Wyatt family shows up. And you're going to tell me right away that the fans are not going to chant Husky Harris. Really? 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 Now I sound like the Miz. Holy shit. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you guys believe that the fans are idiots, then you're a bigger idiot. Here's how I see it. It's quite simple. If you know who that guy is, you know him as Bray Wyatt, okay? You know that. But you also know him as Husky Harris. I mean, come on. I mean, be intelligent for once. Don't be a sports entertainment goof that knows absolutely nothing. If you're one-sided on this whole thing about professional wrestling, then you don't know anything just yet. All right? I've been a wrestling fan for years, okay? And there have been times, and I've heard this many, many times over the years, where fans will chant another person's name and they are not even who they are in the company. It's like Big Daddy Cool Diesel, who was in the WWE for a long time, leaves and goes to TNA, or actually leaves to go to WCW, the whole thing with the NWO, and people start chanting Diesel, and Kevin Nash is there, and people call him idiots. Well, duh. I mean, he used to be Diesel. The same thing with let's bring out another person. It's like Scott Hall. He was known as Razor Ramon back in the day at WWE, right? Then he comes to WCW. I keep saying WCW and TNA. Holy shit. Scott Hall comes into WCW, and people start chanting Razor Ramon. And you want to call those people idiots too? Because they knew him as Razor Ramon? He may be Scott Hall, but they know him as Razor Ramon. Are you getting the point yet? The point is, yes, we know that the Wyatt family has shown up on Raw. And yes, that guy's name is Bray Wyatt. Duh. But we also know him as Husky Harris. So here is what I'm going to tell all of you, especially the WWE Universe. It doesn't matter. If you want to call them idiots, go right ahead. But those are the most intelligent people I've ever heard. Because if you see a guy that you recognize, and people start chanting that guy's name, and he's not even who he is, well then, those are the smartest people in the world. You know why? Because that guy, Bray Wyatt, was known as Husky Harris. Those are wrestling fans for you. And if you're going to make fun of the wrestling fans, you're going to call them idiots, and you might as well look at yourself in the mirror and say you're an idiot too. Okay? That's what I have to say about that. And if you're going to argue the point against me, go ahead. All I can tell you straight up is you're not going to win. I'll tell you that right now. Every person that has ever tried to question me about my wrestling knowledge and everything else like that has either dropped like a bad habit or ended up in the grave. Well, I've never actually put anybody in the grave, but that's the way it is, okay? So I just want to, just bring that up. So if you're going to call them idiots, call them idiots. But they are the most intelligent people you'll know, okay? Husky Harris, Bray Wyatt, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is the Wyatt family made a great debut on Raw, did tremendous for themselves. Boom, it becomes a huge hit. Now, let me get